There's something many of us tend to overlook when it comes to making our homes feel truly welcoming. It's not just about keeping things spotless or lighting a beautifully scented candle. It's about creating a feeling, a sense of warmth, peace, and comfort that wraps around you the moment you step inside. While a clean house is certainly lovely, a home that feels lived in, cozy, and full of heart is something entirely different and far more special. Over time, I've discovered that it's the simple habits, the timeless tricks, and the gentle, everyday routines that make the greatest impact. These things don't come from fancy gadgets or pricey products. They come from seniors' wise advice, the kind of knowledge passed down from mothers, grandmothers, and women who knew how to fill a home with love and intention. So today, I want to share 10 tried and true secrets that women like me have relied on for decades, not just to make a house smell clean, but to make it feel whole. If you've ever stepped into someone's home and instantly felt calm, like everything was in its right place, that's exactly the feeling we're going for. This isn't just about masking odors. It's about crafting a space that reflects who you are and how deeply you care. So stick with me, and let's walk through these 10 comforting, practical, and powerful tips together. Secret number 1. Let fresh air in, every single day. It might seem like a small thing, but the air inside your home can grow stale more quickly than you think. Cooking aromas, pet smells, cleaning agents, and the natural rhythms of daily life all mingle and linger. Little by little, without even realizing it, your home can start to feel heavy. No candle, spray, or diffuser can truly fix that. They can only cover it up for a while. That's why one of the oldest and most dependable habits I've kept, and that many other women still swear by, is this. Open your windows every single day. Rain or shine, whether it's summer or winter. Even just a crack for 5 minutes will get the air moving again. You'll be amazed at what a difference it makes. Fresh air does what artificial scents can't. It refreshes your home from the inside out. It clears away the old and brings in something bright and new. And you'll feel it, almost instantly, a sense of lightness and renewal that no product can replicate. A lightness, a breath, a subtle shift in the air. No matter how efficient your heating or cooling system may be, there's simply no substitute for real, fresh air. I've heard people say, "But it's too cold," or "It's way too hot." And I get it. Truly, I do. But here's the truth. That small moment of discomfort passes quickly. Slip on a cozy sweater or flip on a fan if you must, but give your home and your body the gift of clean, outdoor air, even if it's just for a little while. Personally, I like to crack open the bedroom window while I'm making the bed in the morning, or lift the kitchen window a few inches as I wipe down the counters. These quiet, mindful routines may seem small, but they matter. They send a signal, to your home and to yourself, that this space is being lovingly cared for. And, just as importantly, they help you feel renewed. So remember, the first secret may be simple, but it's powerful. Let in fresh air daily, even for just 5 minutes. It's one of the kindest, most restorative things you can do for your home, your health, and your peace of mind. Secret number 2. Vinegar, humble, unglamorous, and absolutely magical. Now I know what you might be thinking. Vinegar doesn't exactly scream luxury. It's sharp, it's sour, and yes, it kind of smells like pickles at first. But here's the thing. Generations of women before us have trusted this pantry staple for a reason. According to seniors' wise advice, vinegar is one of the most overlooked, underappreciated, and incredibly effective cleaning tools in existence. It's natural, affordable, and versatile beyond belief. The key? Keep it simple. I always keep a spray bottle filled with half white vinegar and half water. No fancy additives, no synthetic scents. Just 2 basic ingredients that, together, make a powerful cleaner and deodorizer. Spritz it in the air after cooking to neutralize lingering odors. Wipe down your countertops, clean bathroom sinks, refresh the inside of the microwave, the fridge shelves, or even the kitchen trash bin. It's safe on glass, tile, stainless steel, and more. And here's a tip straight from old school wisdom. If a room smells musty or stale, just leave out a shallow bowl of vinegar overnight. By morning, the odor will be gone. No masking, no chemicals, just clean, quiet absorption. Now, I know some folks wrinkle their noses. It smells weird, they say. But here's the truth. That vinegar smell, it vanishes within 20 minutes, completely. And when it goes, it doesn't just fade away. It takes all the lingering, unpleasant odors with it. That's the real magic. There's something comforting about that, isn't there? Vinegar connects us to a simpler time, when cleaning didn't mean plastic bottles full of chemicals and artificial fragrances. Back then, we used what worked, and vinegar works. No frills, no fluff. Just honest, effective cleaning. So give it a try. Keep a bottle close at hand, and don't be afraid to reach for it regularly. It might not smell like a blooming garden, but it will make your home feel fresh, clean, and lovingly cared for, without masking anything. Just that deep, honest clean we all deserve. Secret number 3. Wash what you usually forget. When it comes to cleaning, most of us stick to the basics: floors, countertops, bathrooms, dishes, and of course those areas need regular attention. But if your home still doesn't smell quite right, even after all that scrubbing, Senior's wise advice points to one sneaky culprit: fabric. Fabrics are scent sponges. Curtains, throw pillows, couch covers, blankets draped over chairs, they all quietly absorb the everyday life that passes through your home. Every meal you cook, every time the dog hops onto the couch, every day the windows stay shut, those fabrics are taking in the air around them. Over time, the smells settle deep into the fibers. And because we don't see visible dirt on them like we do on a floor or a sink, it's easy to forget they need love too. But here's the truth. Washing those overlooked fabrics can completely change how your home smells. I call it a fabric refresh, and I do it at the start of every new season, 4 times a year. I take down the curtains, toss the throw blankets into the wash, unzip the pillow covers, and if the couch cushions can be cleaned, they go in too. For delicate items, I head to the dry cleaner. Yes, it's a little more effort, but the result is a home that smells airy, renewed, and lived in the best possible way. I like to add a splash of vinegar to the rinse cycle or a light, natural fabric deodorizer. Nothing heavy or overly perfumed. Just something that lifts the odors without covering them up with something fake. Because let's face it, even if those fabrics look clean, that doesn't mean they are clean. It's like your favorite sweater. It may not have a stain, but you know when it needs a good wash. So, the third secret is all about refreshing what you've stopped noticing. Those quiet, soft corners of your home that hold both scent and memory. When you take the time to care for them, your entire home responds with a sense of renewal. It's a gentle act, but one with powerful results. Secret number 4. Don't just take out the trash. Wash the can. It's easy to think you've handled the trash when you tie up the bag and toss it outside. Job done, right? Not quite. Because while the garbage may be gone, the smell often lingers, and the real culprit isn't the trash itself. It's the can. Let's be honest. We've all had those little leaks. A cracked eggshell, a squishy bit of fruit, coffee grounds that slipped through the liner. They collect at the bottom of the bin, seeping into the plastic or metal, quietly causing that faint but persistent sour smell in your kitchen. Even if your counters sparkle and the floors shine, that hidden odor can throw everything off. That's why Senior's wise advice includes this small but mighty habit. Wash your trash can weekly. Yes, weekly. It's one of those simple practices that makes a bigger difference than you'd expect. Here's how. A bit of dish soap, some white vinegar, and a good scrub are all you need. If you have a yard or a balcony, take the bin outside, rinse it out with a hose, and give it a thorough clean inside and out. Let it air dry completely before lining it with a fresh bag. No outdoor space? No problem. You can do the same in your bathtub. Just be sure to rinse the tub well afterward, and don't forget the underside of the lid. That's a hidden hot spot for grime and odor. Some people like to sprinkle baking soda in the bottom of the can or toss in a dryer sheet for a little extra freshness. That's a nice touch, but the real magic comes from the consistency. A clean trash can means your kitchen stays fresh no matter what's cooking or what's been tossed. You're not just covering up smells, you're eliminating them at the source. And that's the kind of quiet care that makes a home truly feel good. And that, my friend, is the kind of care that keeps a home feeling truly clean, not just on the surface, but deep down in the spirit of the space. Secret number 5. Simmer. Something from the heart. There's nothing quite like walking into a home and being met by a warm, comforting aroma, one that doesn't just smell pleasant, but feels like home. That's the quiet magic of simmering stovetop potpourri. It's not new, not flashy, and certainly not trendy, but it works beautifully. I first tried it years ago on a rainy afternoon when the house felt a little too quiet and still. I filled a small pot with water, tossed in some orange peels, a cinnamon stick, a few cloves, and a splash of vanilla. I turned the burner to low and went about my day. Within minutes, the house smelled like something was baking, like a holiday was coming, or love was in the air. Yet I hadn't even touched the oven. From that day on, this little ritual became one of my favorite ways to create comfort. And Senior's wise advice reminds us, it's not just about eliminating odors, it's about inviting in warmth and familiarity. You can make it your own. Try lemon slices and rosemary in the summer, apple peels and nutmeg in the fall, or ginger and mint in the spring. Each blend tells its own gentle story. If you prefer not to use the stove, a slow cooker works beautifully. Just fill it with water and your chosen ingredients, set it to low, and let the aroma drift softly through your home all day. These scents, citrus, cinnamon, vanilla, aren't just pleasant. They connect us to family, to holidays, to peaceful mornings and cherished memories. They wrap your home in a kind of love no air freshener can replicate. Because when you simmer something sweet and familiar, you're not just cleaning the air, you're sending a message. One that says, this home is loved, and that message lingers longer than any spray ever could. Secret number 6. Deep, clean carpets, because they remember everything. Every step we take, every trip inside from the outdoors, every little spill or accident, our carpets absorb it all. Dirt, dust, pollen, pet hair, food crumbs, even the skin cells we shed without thinking. Over time, it builds up quietly, deep within the fibers. And while regular vacuuming is important, it only scratches the surface. The real buildup, the one that affects how your home smells and feels, lives much deeper. That's why Senior's wise advice recommends deep cleaning your carpets at least twice a year. If you have pets, allergies, or heavy foot traffic, do it even more often. This isn't about looks. A carpet can appear spotless and still hold on to odors that change the entire atmosphere of your home. Now, don't worry. You don't need to buy a big machine. Many stores rent carpet cleaners by the day, and professional services are always an option. But if you're like me and enjoy that satisfying feeling of doing it yourself, a small, reliable home shampooer can be a great investment. Used regularly, it can truly transform your living space. My go-to method? Hot water extraction, with just a bit of white vinegar in the rinse. It pulls out old, hidden odors and leaves the carpet feeling fresh. Not artificially perfumed, but clean in the truest sense of the word. Yes, it takes a little time and effort, but the way your home smells afterward, lighter, cleaner, more peaceful, makes it absolutely worth it. Clean carpets don't just improve scent. They improve the way your home feels, even how healthy it is. You're lifting away months, even years, of built-up life from the very ground you walk on. So don't wait for a stain or a guest visit. Make it part of your seasonal rhythm. Deep clean your carpets for yourself, for the comfort, the pride, and the calm that comes from knowing your home is clean all the way down to the floor beneath your feet. Secret number 7. Keep baking soda in every room. It's quiet but powerful. When it comes to keeping your home smelling fresh and clean, baking soda is a quiet hero. It doesn't mask odors with perfume or chemicals. Instead, it absorbs them, completely and naturally, leaving behind nothing but a sense of real freshness. It's the kind of simple, effective trick passed down through generations, and as part of Seniors' wise advice, it's a tip worth remembering. Start with the refrigerator. Even if it looks clean, leftover smells can linger, especially from strong foods like onions, garlic, or leftovers that overstayed their welcome. A small open box of baking soda placed inside works quietly around the clock, absorbing those scents before they take over. But don't stop there. Sprinkle baking soda on your carpets before vacuuming. Just a light layer. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes, then vacuum it up. It lifts the hidden odors your vacuum alone can't reach, especially if you cook often or have pets. The result is a room that smells as clean as it looks. Got stinky shoes? Try sprinkling a bit inside your sneakers or walking shoes at night. Shake them out in the morning. The change will surprise you, and you didn't have to buy anything special. Baking soda works wonders in other overlooked places, too. Laundry hampers, trash cans, under the sink, linen closets, even in your car. I keep a small open dish of it in the guest bathroom, tucked behind a plant. It doesn't draw attention, but it quietly keeps everything smelling fresh. What's beautiful about baking soda is how safe and simple it is. No harsh chemicals, no worries about pets or little ones, just a natural solution that stood the test of time. So if your home looks clean but still carries an odd scent, try adding a few discreet bowls or boxes of baking soda around, especially in spots where the air gets still. You'll notice a change, and so will anyone who steps inside. It's not dramatic, but that's the point. It's a quiet kind of clean, and the best kind of fresh. Secret number 8. Clean the hidden smell zones, the ones everyone forgets. We all do our best to keep our homes tidy. We wipe counters, mop floors, scrub the sinks, and shine the windows. Those are the easy-to-see areas. But some of the worst smells in a home don't come from what's visible. They come from the places we rarely look and often forget. And here's where Seniors' wise advice steps in. To gently remind us that real cleanliness includes the corners, cracks, and overlooked spaces that quietly gather grime. Take a moment to think. When was the last time you cleaned behind your toilet? Not just around it, but behind the base? Or pulled out your refrigerator to see what's fallen underneath? What about the filter in your dishwasher? Or the drain in your kitchen sink? Even your washing machine, especially if it's front-loading, can harbor hidden smells. These zones might be out of sight, but they aren't out of nose. Over time, moisture, food bits, and soap residue create the perfect environment for bad odors to form and stay. And because we don't check them often, the smells linger longer than they should. The good news: it doesn't take much to freshen these forgotten places. A little vinegar and baking soda in the drains, a damp cloth for behind the appliances, a quick scrub of that dishwasher filter. These are small tasks that make a big difference. Cleaning them doesn't just eliminate bad smells, it helps prevent them from coming back. It keeps your home feeling cleaner, lighter, and better cared for. And that's the kind of home we all want to come back to. Secret number 9. Choose scents that whisper, not shout. There's a fine line between a home that smells inviting and one that overwhelms the senses. You've likely experienced it. That moment when you walk into a space and the scent hits you so hard, it's all you can think about. It doesn't feel welcoming. It feels like you're trying to breathe through a cloud of artificial perfume. Here's what Seniors' wise advice has taught me over the years. The best scents are the ones you barely notice. They're gentle, subtle, and comforting. They don't announce themselves. They simply linger in the background, creating a sense of calm and cleanliness without ever taking center stage. The goal is not to make people say, "What's that smell?" The goal is to make them say, "It feels so good in here." So, how do you do that? Start small. A bowl of dried lavender in the bedroom, A drop of essential oil on a cotton ball tucked behind a picture frame. A beeswax candle with a hint of citrus or pine lit for an hour in the evening. Even a bar of handmade soap placed in a drawer can give off a soft, clean scent. Stick with natural, familiar smells. Lavender, vanilla, lemon, rosemary, cedar. These are the notes that tend to soothe the senses rather than overwhelm them. They remind us of gardens, clean linens, fresh air. A light touch is all you need. Avoid overpowering sprays or plug-ins that try to cover odors instead of eliminating them. That heavy layer can feel artificial and cloying, and ironically, it often draws more attention to the very smell you're trying to hide. Instead, let your home breathe. Fresh air, clean fabrics, and attention to hidden smell zones, like we talked about earlier, will create a neutral foundation. Then add just a whisper of scent. That's all it takes, because a home that smells softly of comfort and care, without shouting about it, is a home that feels like a sanctuary. For example, a few drops of lemon or lavender essential oil in your mop water can leave a room smelling fresh without being overpowering. A tiny drop of vanilla or cedarwood oil on a cotton ball placed behind a curtain, or a single candle burned for just an hour in the evening, can subtly scent the air. You don't need to spray every room or plug in multiple air fresheners. In fact, the more you pile on, the more it starts to feel like you're masking something, and often the artificial scents linger in ways that aren't pleasant. Older women know this well. We've learned through experience that less is more. The scent of clean sheets or a touch of citrus in the kitchen does more for the heart than any store-bought fragrance could. Let your home speak for itself. Let the true cleanliness, the care you've put into each space, be the first thing someone notices, and then let a gentle scent, a whisper of something fresh or sweet, quietly finish the story. It's not about impressing anyone, it's about feeling at peace in your own space. When the scent matches that feeling, that's when your home becomes more than clean. It becomes a haven. Secret number 10. Create a smell routine, not a last-minute rescue plan. Let me share something I've learned the hard way, and maybe you have too. Trying to make your home smell nice just 5 minutes before company arrives never works. Spraying rooms, lighting candles, running around, opening windows, it always feels rushed, panicked, and temporary. What makes a home smell truly wonderful, not just for guests but every day, is routine. It's not about a big cleaning session once a month. It's about the small, simple things you do consistently. When these things become part of your daily rhythm, they start to feel less like chores and more like acts of care. Here's what I do. A simple checklist, nothing fancy. Each morning, I crack a window for just 5 to 10 minutes, even if it's cold. I check the trash, asking myself, is there anything in here that might cause trouble later? I fluff the pillows and straighten the couch because, yes, fabric holds scent, and a little shake goes a long way. If the house feels a little heavy, I'll simmer something soft on the stove or in a slow cooker. If I have pets, I make sure the litter box is clean or the dog's bed is aired out. In the evening, I light one lightly scented candle for an hour or two. Not to cover anything, just to bring a sense of calm. Before bed, I make sure there are no wet towels in the washer and no dirty dishes in the sink. The overnight smell often starts there. Sometimes I sprinkle a little baking soda in the hamper or behind the bathroom door just in case. That's it. Nothing difficult, nothing expensive. Just gentle, thoughtful actions that keep your home smelling lovely all the time, not just when someone's coming over. And here's the real secret. When you do this consistently, your house stops surprising you. There's no moment of panic, no wondering, what's that smell? There's only quiet confidence, the kind that comes from knowing you've taken care of the space that takes care of you. A smell routine isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. The more present you are in your home, the more peaceful it becomes. So, if you remember just one thing from today, let it be this. Little habits done daily add up to something powerful. You're not just maintaining a space, you're creating an atmosphere, one of warmth, safety, and quiet pride. And that, more than any product on a shelf, is what makes a home feel like home. So, there you have it. 10 simple, thoughtful, time-tested secrets that have helped women like you and me keep our homes smelling clean, fresh, and full of comfort. Not just once in a while, but every single day. These aren't trends, they're not shortcuts. They're habits, gentle rituals. And more than that, they're love in action. Because caring for your home isn't just about tidiness. It's about how you want to feel when you walk through your front door. It's about creating peace in the air you breathe. Maybe you already do some of these things. Maybe a few were new. Either way, I hope this video reminded you that you already hold so much wisdom. And sometimes it's the quiet routines we build for ourselves that offer the deepest sense of peace. Now, if this brought you any comfort, made you smile, or sparked inspiration for your next cleaning day, would you do me a favor? Click that like button, subscribe to Seniors Wise Advice so you never miss a new episode, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one scent that reminds you of home? It could be cinnamon rolls, fresh laundry, or a bowl of lemons on the table. There's no wrong answer. I read every single message and can't wait to hear your stories. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself and take care of your space, because you deserve to live in a home that doesn't just look clean. It smells like peace. It smells like you.